Oh, we're live. Hello.
And
welcome to episode number 57, or probably more, from that, actually number 16 from the series of Hearns From Home.
Yes.
So, well, with lockdown, we don't even know what day of the week it is. So how are we meant to know what episode we're up to?
Exactly correct. And surprise, surprise, welcome to Warwick.
Oh,
hey. I can't believe Tom's here. I've lost $20.
I know, right?
Why wasn't I in that action? Oh.
Fantastic. Right, so we got quite a lot of people live, guys, tonight. So hello, Jason. Jason is coming live.
Yes.
Very good. We have actually
Keenan's here as well.
Yes. So big crowd. Brilliant. Well, so everyone knows we are still in lockdown, so we're going to run from home. So I think, from my perspective, one of the best live we did was in the previous lockdown. It was 5 of us here, 6. It was Marlon actually as well. So it was good fun. So hopefully it's going to be another good fun episode. Lots of things. So everyone has a few things to share us tonight. So who's going to make a start?
Who?
Well, Tom.
Don't look at me irrelevant.
Tom can go first. Tom. Yay.
That guy. Go down there. That way.
Tom. So Shaz, what is the car of the night to guess?
The car of the night? Got something really, really unusual tonight. Hopefully it'll take someone a while to guess what it is. Movie buffs might have a slight edge.
Yeah.
So
we need to know the make and the model. Marlon, where are you? You'd know what this is. He's probably shouting at the moment. We just can't hear him. I'll message him and he'll tell me, and then I'll look really slow.
All right. So that's the car for the night.
Cool.
Is it American?
It is American.
We've got Ian.
American. Fantastic.
Okay, so there is already
a Hornet.
Here we go.
That's too quick.
Is
that right?
100% right.
Well, we need I guess we need the ear as well. I think there's a bit more detail that we can add to that.
But there's more detail.
There's
more trivia
as well.
We need the color code as well.
Tony's asking the questions. Let's see if
I think this is it's a little bit too easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like dispenser.
A lot easier than I thought. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well,
where do we start tonight? Who's going to be first? Warwick has been working
that we could play a game
Everyone's
called What's in Brett's Box?
What's in Brett's box?
What's in Brett's box?
You've only got one. Must try harder.
Must try harder.
Is it the big one or the small one? Jeez.
Oh, what's the right?
If you could see behind my camera, you'd be horrified.
What's in Brett's box?
What's in Brett's box? Have you got a sandwich?
How cool are these Arrowmax bags, by the way? These Arrowmax car bags. Or did I just give it away?
The cars need bags. What's that?
Makes a good pillowcase too.
Yeah, did they get a pillow and a doona?
So what we have here is a race car, formerly known as a BD10. This is from Yokomo. This is a road racer. Formerly, because it's about to become a donor car.
Oh.
Does anybody know what that might be leading to?
It's turning into Frankenstein.
Well, a very bespoke and exotic Frankenstein, but we're on the wrong part there. Yes, the donor car. So we're going to take this. I'm going to take this one apart effectively and convert it to an Arrowmax TCR. Now, can anybody tell me what a TCR is?
Here we go. Someone is already guessing it. Look at this.
Come on, internet people.
Has already guessed that one is going to be a front-wheel drive conversion.
A front-wheel drive conversion. Brett's
That'll be cool,
to the rescue again. What have we got here?
It's a box in the box.
A box in a box. Just when you thought you couldn't have enough boxes, out
That's
comes
right.
a front-wheel drive TCR conversion.
Beautiful.
With all the hype around front-wheel drive and TCR lately, I thought I would take the opportunity to, I suppose this is a bit of an unboxing per se, to take the opportunity to make a very own TCR out of the BD10 weapon of a race car.
So really, how different is a TCR layout to a normal four-wheel drive layout? It must be quite a bit if it's got a chassis and everything.
Yeah, well, quite unconventional in the fact that they obviously go, well, not obviously, but they go for a more front weight bias. So right. In your four-wheel drive touring car, we go for a weight bias of around 50-50. It may not be exactly 50-50, might be like 48 front, 52 rear, but within that 2%. So I'm going to take the opportunity now to build a front-wheel drive, and that's going to have a weight distribution of probably more like 65% front, 35% rear.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, well, and the reason that we give more weight over the front end is because that's where the drive's got to happen and the traction. So we're going to be asking more of the front tires, as it's only going to be two-wheel drive. So the front tires have got to do all the driving, all the braking, all the steering. So we're going to weight them up a bit more. So to do that, we've got a whole new Arrowmax chassis. So we're going to call this the Arrowmax TCR. Mm-hmm. And that's a 2.25 millimeter carbon fiber chassis. And then also in the kit, we've got a beautifully presented Arrowmax front weight system. Now, anybody who knows that Arrowmax knows that they're sort of synonymous with the hexagonal and the dual stage anodizing, just like on this one here. So beautifully presented there. And that's going to add 70 grams in front of the axle to try and increase that weight distribution. We've got a beautiful, again, two-stage anodized aluminium engine mount. So because the car's going to front-wheel drive, it requires different placement of the motor and the geometry of the car. So we're going to use a custom-made Arrowmax motor mount. Mm-hmm. And in here we have various, to complete the rest of your TCR kit, we've got a spur gear carrier and belt drive. You can see here it's got beautifully machined here for the belt. Really hard to see on this camera. Spur gear. And then we have in here, we have top deck, bearings, body mounts, everything else. We need to turn this into a front-wheel drive weapon. So, yeah, really looking forward to having an Arrowmax race car. It used to be, I think, back when the previous generation, when the BD9, Nick, maybe you can clarify this. BD9, I think Arrowmax, one of the pioneers in the Medius kit in making a mid-mount four-wheel drive car. So they've come to the party now. That's made a TCR conversion for the BD10.
That's right. And the best part is that you get lots of parts in there. So if you get two events, you can actually refresh one of the two cars because you get a new chassis, new belt. So you can turn a second-hand car virtually to a brand new car. For the cost of the kit originally or conversion kit was from memory $200 or $220. But now we have
I think we've got near $250 for the conversion kit.
Yeah, for the car for $799.
So here we have my the BD10 donor car. So I'll be using things off this like the drive shafts, the caster box, the shocks, the all the geometry, the hinge pins and that sort of stuff. But the chassis plate will be replaced with a new unit, the top deck and the engine mounts. So yeah, really looking forward to going front wheel drive. It's been a long time, and they drive quite quite different dynamically as well. So yeah. So obviously we use like a hatch style body. Here's one of my old cars in familiar colors for everybody. So yeah, you can see it's a hatch style body as opposed to the touring car or sedan style body. It's all hard to fit on the little webcam. But yeah, very similar, obviously in color and stuff. But yeah, you can see this is a hatchback style body, and that's designed to be within the rules. They have to be a hatch or a front wheel drive, more scale approach. They also have to have scale. Sorry, not scale. They have to have spoke tires by the rules. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to. I think Nick spoke about last week about some new sweep tires, which I think, funnily enough, I've got in one of my boxes.
Another box.
Another Brett's box special. What else is in Brett's box?
Like Santa.
Looks like I've taken half the shop home this week, I'm afraid, Nick.
Indeed.
There's nothing worse than the sound. Look at this guy. So you can see here we've got the treaded tires. These are in the 34 compound. And these are what I'm going to be running on this TCR. See if we can get these to hook up. Spoked wheels are in the rule book for this in Victoria anyway, at least for TCR class. The treaded tire is a new thing. This is a overseas inspired rule. So unfortunately, with what's going on in the world at the moment, it's all that was available to us. So we're going to try this out. If it's good enough for them overseas, I'm sure it's going to be fast enough for us.
Well, it makes it look a bit more realistic, doesn't it?
Heaps more. So as long as we can get close on lap times and good durability, yeah, Sweep are definitely making the fastest tires out there at the moment on road. So I'd really like to think that these are up to the job.
Yeah, it looks good.
Brilliant. And last thing but not least, for the new TCR package,
wheels, just to give a bit about.
I couldn't fit this in one of Brett's boxes. Last but not least is latest release body Biddy Design HCF front wheel drive car. So you can see it's clear. It's going to look not very good on this little camera, but yeah, it's going to have a nice big wing on there. It's within the TCR front wheel drive rules. Looking forward to getting it on there and getting some good handling.
What is it, like a Honda Civic Type R, is it?
Yeah, I think it's Honda-esque. I don't know if that we can call it a Honda, but I'm tipping it's what it could be called maybe a HC, might be for Honda Concept, and F for front wheel drive. But it's got this beautiful, yeah, it's really hard to see on the camera. It's got this beautiful sculpting. It's going to be really strong. It's got bonnet venting. It's got this extra rib around the window. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to getting it out there. Giving it a run and seeing what we can do in TCR.
That's right.
I was really surprised when I hadn't seen the Biddy Design bodies before, obviously not being an RC guy, but fully CNC machine, the quality was crazy. Because, when I did vacuuming back in the dark ages, all of the molds were just hand sculpted, and you would just get there with a block of MDF and some bog and, sculpt it up and then try and mirror it. And it was just a nightmare in itself. So, yeah,
absolutely.
They throw a lot of technology at them. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, now, and because of the scale, it's not out of the realms to CMC it from a billet piece of aluminium. And that's exactly how Biddy Design does it.
That's right. And
so,
they're just about to release, actually. They've already released the 1/7 scale body for, I guess, the Armour, what's it called? I lost the name. The big Armour 1/7 scale.
Infraction?
Oh.
Infraction, yes. Infraction is correct. So it's a big 1/7 scale body, and it's going to look phenomenal based on a GT shaped car, and should arrive in the next probably 2 weeks or so. That's huge. That's massive.
It's going to be a game changer for that basher market, isn't it? It's really going to turn them from bashing into a high performance, aerodynamically engineered body, which is also crazy good looking based on the 765. So
Indeed.
really looking forward to some donor infractions coming forward and letting us get some bodies painted up.
It's going to look good.
Nice. So that's Brett's box.
That's Brett's box.
Good. Okay. Well, it looks like everyone has been guessing the car. I think we have. Is that 1974, Tom?
Correct, actually.
Ah.
There was one other movie that this was used in, though.
Right.
007 James Bond fans might be able to help out on this one.
The spy.
I think I can see it in the comments there, Tommy.
Wait.
Let me see. Haven't missed it.
I wasn't coming from my mouth, but I want to say the man with the golden gun.
That's it.
Thank you, Ian.
Whoever got that?
Excellent.
That was a lot quicker than I expected.
Well done. That's brilliant.
He also appear in the Johnny Lightning.
And Johnny Lightning, yes, that's it.
I think Ian's earned himself some Hearns Racing stickers with his next delivery.
With his next order.
I think so.
Why not?
All right. Who's next?
People who want to know what my cat's name is.
All right, let's put a cat in.
She's a bit sleepy at the moment, so her name is Coop K-O-O. I guess if you yell at her name, she might respond.
Is that Japanese for fluffy?
No. Hey.
Is it Japanese for fluffy?
No, it's not fluffy. What is Japanese for fluffy?
Fluffy.
Coopla.
Fluffy desk.
No, she looks pretty content at the moment. Pretty happy.
She's not starving at least this time. Last week towards the end, she was definitely starving.
Oh, yeah.
You are definitely, BJ, a super villain with your own to stroke.
I've got the shiny head.
Yeah, agree.
Well, I hear that Warwick has been working on some really spectacular models. Do you know anything about it, Warwick?
I'm not sure I'd go that far. I did have a clean up during the week of my space, mostly because I was procrastinating and didn't really want to face the wall of half finished kits that I was being surrounded by. I was busy looking for places to hide the evidence. And it didn't really work, so I just put them behind me. So, hi, my name's Warwick, and I've got a ridiculous backlog. And I thought, if someone was there, if people want to have a look at them, I can sort of grab a couple.
How many days has it been, Warwick, since you've held an airbrush?
Days.
Minutes?
Hours, I think, is the proper answer. So I just realised I was about 8 behind me. There's another 8 in boxes. I don't know. The last year has been weird. It's like this. I've been really productive. I don't know what you guys have been like. I've been productive, but not getting past the finish line of pretty much anything. It's been ridiculous. Tom, you might remember.
Not being able to race, I haven't been near any finish line, to be honest.
Tom might recognise this guy.
Oh.
Hey.
Master grade, Kempfer amazing. No,
Dual wheel, baby. This camera's back to front. It's really doing my head in. Yeah.
He's missing the mine whip.
Oh, I know. Everyone loves that. You know me. If everyone does something, that's the only reason I need not to do it.
That blue came really nice though. Wow.
It's funny because it's a really janky. It's an old kit, isn't it? It's like one of the
really old kit.
It's got to be 20 years old, right, or close to it.
Over 20 years old, I think. From memory.
It's a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they need to do a remaster of this.
And so this paint really surprised me. Actually, this was this is Mr. Hobby Aqueous. It's just I wanted an aqua, so I put the blue and the green together and got that
Really green.
nice color. There's no gloss coat on this either. Like that's just all.
So that's a straight acrylic metallic.
Straight acrylic metallic.
Wow.
Straight out of the box.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I was really shocked, but for an old kit, it came up quite well. And I think it might be my only clean build, it's pretty close to it actually. It's not completely clean. There was a few. I painted on a few stripes and markings and stuff. And I couldn't help but make them look like they'd been scratched up a bit.
It's very shiny for one of yours.
Hey?
I said it's very shiny for one of yours.
Yes, I'm not known for shiny. I'm trying to rectify that, but I don't know. I like paint. You know, I come from a graphic design background in some respects, and you got to like color to be in that industry. So while I do like the textures and the weathering and the storytelling you can do with that, kind of like pretty colors too. So sometimes you just have to bust out the pretty colors. And speaking of which, that's that for a segue. He's Nick's cat. Now he's basically done. I'm not going to do any more. I've started weathering him a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick him on a base, and then I'm going to build up the weathering around, how he would look, in that particular situation, doing that particular thing. So
color shifting paints there, right?
Yeah, so this is all the color shifting, blue to purple and blue to green. The gold is Mr. Metal color, and the other colors are SMS, like you can see on that leg there, the color shift.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all SMS. I had a ride at a time with this guy. It's pretty much the same color separation as the box art. So if you have a look at the box art of the Metal Garurumon, the purple bits are purple and the gold bits are gold. I've just done some masking with my Cricut Maker and added a few Hearns Workshop bits. So it's got some cables. Sorry, mate. I know the indignity of it all, right?
That's a bit rude, isn't it?
It is a bit. It is a bit. So
does he have a name?
Hey?
Does he have a name?
Fluffy.
Oh, Fluffy. I'll leave that up to Nick. Nick's really good at that stuff. So
yeah, definitely.
Get him to do that.
You can't call it code.
So yeah, he's pretty done. Had a lot of fun with him. A lot of fun with these wings too. Check out these wings.
Good wings.
They're transparent, yeah?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they're so they're SMS as well. But one of the newer color shifts, I can't remember what it's called. It's not Alien. Anyway, one of the color shifts. So yeah, that's it for the colorful stuff. And I'm putting the finishing touches to this guy, which I've shown a lot of you. Everyone's probably bored to death with this
creepy boy.
Yeah, Mr. Creeper.
That is a great way to dress up a high-grade kit. That looks really, really good.
But it started off as a palette cleanser, but I was just going to bang it out in a weekend. But I just loved it so much. It's just so stupid. And I just love stupid things.
His fingernails.
Doesn't get much more stupid than that.
Wow, that's brilliant.
But then I had a bit of fun with it. Like I've done there's different. These are just two classic RLM colors, German World War II RLM colors. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are, 75 and 76 or something like that. But I've used paints from 3 different manufacturers, so they're all slightly different shades. and it's easier to pick up in person, but it really sort of just adds visual interest to the model. And I've also done asymmetric things like like that arm panel there has obviously been replaced recently. It's a completely different to that. And so just little things like that can really. Sorry?
What happened to the arm?
Oh, well, it was an epic battle between good and evil, man. It's, just the classic trope.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut. And and more indignity, but I've started to do some weathering on the bottom there, just sliming the hell out of him. So he's going to be like emerging from a swamp because he's a swamp mecha, apparently. I don't know. I don't watch the anime, but and he does look a bit like a swamp monster. So fair bit of work ahead of me with that one. There's lots of I've got lots of basing to do, but of course now we're in lockdown. I can't go to Bunnings and get my supplies, so I'm kind of stuck. So that means I'm going to do a couple more projects.
Cutting the dining table, cut pieces of the dining table.
Cool. One that might shock a lot of you because I don't know how many of you know about this. But
Which one?
What's coming up now?
Oh,
Close up.
wait for it.
All right.
Brace yourself.
Balls.
Oh,
Yeah, Shadow Beetle. So I haven't finished this guy yet. I mean, all the mechanics are there.
You have to paint it from the inside, Warwick.
Really?
Yeah, back to front, inside out.
You don't, actually.
Whoa.
wow.
That's cheating.
It is cheating. So he's got his rust coat on. He's had his rust coat on for about 6 months now. Don't tell anybody. And now it's time to get some paint on that. I've masked off these because these are actually I painted them raw aluminium, and I'm going to add some Hearns Workshop nuts and bolts all the way around. So it's kind of going to be a little bit sort of rat roddy, off roady kind of thing. Very much inspired by Reese at our sister store, the Hobby Man. He loves all that sort of stuff, and he's got a really good eye for it too. So he's like the guy to talk to if you want to get one of these old kits and just make them look amazing.
That one is a sculpture body, right? That's a Tamiya body.
Sculpture body. Yeah. I don't know where he got it from. I just said, "Oh man, I want a sand sculpture body, and I can't find one." And he was like, "I'll get one for you next week." I'm like, "Okay, great." Ask no questions, So, that was pretty good. And ridiculous value for money too. I think it was like $60 for that. And you get mounting points for it.
It's all rusty, mate.
That's why it's cheap.
Yeah, that's why it was only $60, man. I mean, come on.
Do you know how much the bigger design ones are?
I don't actually.
Well, they come rust free, and I think you find that they're under $55.
Really?
Yeah.
They're made out of plastic, man. Look at this. It's metal.
Well, meanwhile, we have a question actually. As for you, Warwick, where are those robots from?
It's a mix of things. The Wolfie Dragon guy is a Digimon character, apparently. The High Dog, the one with jazz hands is his Gunpla. He's from the Gundam universe.
Gunpla.
I just showed those two, didn't I? There's a whole. And the Camphor is the same. The Camphor's sort of one of the old school Gunpla kits, master grade kits, which I think we've actually got in store right now.
I think we do.
So you know where to go.
Good.
Other bird.
That place. I hear they have good kits. So that's that. And of course Kyosho Beetle, which unfortunately we don't have, but we do have the Ultima, which I also have up there, which is lovely. It was my first RC car in like 30 years. I'm kind of glad I got that one. It just goes together really nice, and it's all the parts are metal, and it's kind of the good. It's kind of got that. It's not modern, but it's not sort of, some of the older retro cars. They don't work very well. But the Ultima's like sort of smack bang in the middle, best of both worlds.
You've had a good drive of it as well, haven't you?
Say again, Beach?
You've had a good drive of it.
I have. Yeah, I walk the dog like every day straight for 2 years, and then came to work for this place, and then didn't walk the dog as much. But when I did, it was like pain. And way to make it less painful is to take your RC car when you walk your dog. And and as a bonus, he can attempt to chase after it, and you can threaten him, try and run into him, and
you can round him up when he tries to run away.
Sorry, Tom?
You can round him up when he tries to run away.
Yeah, I can round him up. Yeah, definitely. He actually gets round up quite a bit by Kelpies, because he's he's scratching at the door, but he's Scotty Westie miniature poodle cross. So it's this kind of like little brown shaggy thing, and I think the Kelpies think he is a sheep, and they do often try and round him up. And that's, of course, the car comes in handy then as well. So you can sort of distract them for a little bit, make them go chase that. So there you go, dog walking RC cars. It's a whole new thing. You heard it first right here. He's live.
Good.
Very cool. Yeah, so that's good. I've got other stuff. We've got more time later, but everyone's probably bored by now, so we can move on. I guess, or whatever.
So, Tom has got a few things behind there while he's freezing out, though.
He's got a question.
Peter's going to show the experiment later as well. Who wants to be up next?
Hey,
what have you got, Tommy?
So there's a few bits and pieces there. So the first thing, I'm going to move that one out of the way. Most people who visited our stores will probably be familiar with this. This is the Team Magic E4D drift car. So basically, drift cars, the best thing about these is they're just begging for stickers. So the more stickers you can find to put on them, the better they look.
it looks apart.
So this one I've had a lot of fun with. This has also got our custom alloy wing mounts on the back. But this one in particular, I took the drag racing motor and the speed controller from the associated DR10, and I swapped out the brushed motor in this. It is a lot more fun. It did chew through the tires in about 4 minutes. So I've got a fresh set of tires on there, and I need to play with the settings on that one. And then got some lights to put in there as well. Moving up a little bit, see if I can get this right.
Your GT.
From before, the GT8.
Oh,
hello.
This is the one that this was built by Brett.
Where's the wing gone?
I've seen the chassis live a few times now. So for the wing is yet to go on. So Brett did the
Steel
on camera last week for everyone. I'm just going to put that back. That's a heavy.
That is a big car.
That is a big car.
heavy.
And then for that one, for this weekend, very similar. Before.
Hey.
Wow.
It looks like J-Spec have come to the party there.
They have. These look amazing, and the car is going to look so much better with those on. So that's
Jeff Hammond is a good partner of ours and makes all our cars look beautiful.
It does.
Indeed.
And then the last thing for this weekend, which will keep me busy enough, is the Hobby Wing wireless programming box.
Ah.
So this is for the XR10 Pro. and it does work with some of their other ESCs as well. But this lets you use your phone to change the settings of the speed controller. Now, the XR10 Pro in particular has a huge range of options for brake force and strength, acceleration, turbo settings, launch settings, all sorts of things. So this lets you actually change and look at all those settings on the fly with your phone. So you don't have to stop your car. You don't have to hook up the little LCD programming box. You can literally do things while the car's on the ground and running and see the changes straight away. So for the drag car, the DR10, that's got the 4.5 turn motor in it at the moment. So running no prep, trying to get the launch right for that, where the tires will actually get the car to move. It's going to take a lot of tweaking. So yeah, that's our weekend.
Sounds fun.
I'm old school. I love a good box.
What?
He's got another box.
Oh.
A program box. No, I said I'm old school.
Oh.
I love a good program box.
No.
But
Oh no! Come on, it's 2021, man.
That's it.
I guess we have some videos ready on how to program speed controllers on Arrowmax specifically, but the knowledge is quite similar. So I think they will be scheduled to go live, I guess, sometime next week or so.
So make me get another box out.
Good content.
Uh-oh.
One more box. That's it.
What's going
It's
on
a
there?
rat.
There you go.
You got some
What have I got here?
That's not a
An
rat.
electronic rat.
Oh,
Got some guts.
Brad's gone fishing.
What's going on there? You're making sausages.
This is proper electronics, Tommy. This is the stuff that you'll find in your 8-scale GT. This is your dash gear.
That is not in the GT anymore.
And no, that's out of a buggy. That's out of Richard's buggy, which is in the part and process of having a bit of a rebuild. The EP8. You can see that there's not much of a buggy left, just a chassis.
Here we get cleaned up.
That's enough from me.
Very good.
will there be a
big one.
will we have to black tie it?
Well,
Is it?
what I have here actually, some wheels. So I don't know if any of you was following our social media this week, but Fred's bagging up with those wheels. And
Oh, that was ridiculous. That was so cool.
They're fatties.
So these are wheels for kind of 1.8 truggies, but they do fit quite nicely on a buggy, and they're fully slick. So the grip on those, once they're prepared properly and warm up, it should be crazy. So Brad is going to attempt, I guess, a velodrome speed run with those wheels. Is that the plan?
That is definitely going to go on the velodrome, isn't it?
I think so. So just to remind everyone, the velodrome that we ran last year should run again sometime in September, hopefully.
I want to say 4th of September.
Yeah, 24th of September.
The 4th of September, yep.
Yeah, so we are very much looking forward to this. Hopefully the lockdown is over by then, and we can have another huge event. I think that had 30, 40 cars last year, and it was really good fun. We ran the GT, and I guess the GT is going to come back. Tom is going to bring his GT. Brett is going to run a buggy. And BJ is, I guess, working on his Select 4 still, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make the short course survive the
Got
action.
a short course monster.
Yeah,
But
once it keeps going, it's pretty quick. It's just a matter of keeping it going.
there we go. Tires this year, we had the GRP, I guess maybe an S3 compound rather than an S7, so give you a bit more grip.
Yeah.
And we have belts as well. You can warm them up, and I think once it's gripping up, should be really good.
Yeah.
Should be really good. So look out
I
for
think
some
that's
of
the
these.
thing with these events, that they evolve and you'll get faster as it goes on,
That's why we have to go more often.
Exactly. So hopefully we have Ian from Perth coming down. Donnie's getting ready. And good. So meanwhile, we have another question here in relation to the velodrome. So the velodrome, what we do, we're going to cycling velodrome, very traditional old school cycling velodrome, where we take RC cars, and the race is to go around the track for about 3 minutes. And I guess the winner is the one that can keep the car together for 3 minutes and finish first. And we get speed of, I guess, over 100 kilometers an hour. or sometime even more. I think the speed record was 130 or 140 last time or so. So good fun. But if you crash, it well, I guess tears. Cars will fall apart.
Good fun for everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone else loves it.
So last year we also took this car around there. Let me show this car. It's bigger. Does it almost fit in the garage? This car. Look at this. That'll be behind the garage here. Well, it's not the garage, but so that's the Tractors X-Max, and that went around the velodrome. So
anything can go wrong easily, didn't it?
Yes. So,
and the velodrome, the vastness of the velodrome actually made it look slow, but that car is not slow.
Yeah,
that car is about 80 kilometers an hour minimum, and it didn't look very fast because it's so big, and the velodrome is huge, as Brett is saying. So
definitely cut the fastest lap time through the infield.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. And heap of other things. So should be good. Should be good. So, BJ, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, I guess it leaves me, doesn't it? Okay. So, well, last week you would have seen that I showed off this particular kit. So this kit's just about due into the shop. So this is a brand new OV 135th scale M113 armoured personnel carrier that the Australian Army used. So what I've done in the meantime is I'll start to build it. So I'll show you where I'm at. And it's been quite an interesting build. So here it is here. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to focus on this. Got to cover my face, I guess. So the most noticeable part about this that makes it very Australian is this particular turret. That's the T50 turret that was used on only Australian M113s. Also a few other little differences. So to get the turret to fit, part of the hatch was ground down so that the hatch could open up. On the rear deck is quite a bit bigger because the Australians actually fitted a air filtration system on top of this. And then also along the sides, you might be able to see there's these extra armor plates under the sponsons here. Okay, so they had the extra armor there, and there's an extra armor plate that goes all the way to the bottom. So that was to protect against mines. Apart from that, it's reasonably similar. They didn't use the covers on the sides. So where I'm at the moment is this is the basic assembly. I try to glue as much as possible together first, and then that gives the maximum strength, and then I'll paint it at a later stage. So there'll be various parts. So here's a rear hatch, okay, which is just going to go on here. Now, just to give you an idea of how good the fit is on these. So it is, I wouldn't call this a beginner's kit. There are a lot of parts. It's very well engineered to a point, and my cat's just taking it at the moment, checking it out.
Big cat's getting it.
Yep. So the engineering is generally pretty good. Certain areas they haven't been able to do perfectly. So you really do need to test fit everything just to make sure, because you do need to make a few little adjustments. Now, you can see the rear hatch. There's actually a door, and you can see just how that opened up. So the fit is really good on that, and that's actually holding together by itself. So
they have an interior bench.
So it does have an interior, but it doesn't have an engine. So it's a bit like the Tamiya kit that came out like 30, 40 years ago. It was probably one of the better kits of the time that had a full interior with an engine. What they've done here is they've got the full interior for the cargo compartment and the driver, but the engine compartment is empty. But they've designed it so that all the engine panel open in the correct position. So you could quite easily get a resin engine and drop it in there if you wanted to. So apart from that, we've got a hatch here that opens up. That's all fully hinged, like so. It sits back there. We've got the hatch here on top of the turret. Let's see if I can do that. We've got it all falling apart. All right, so we've got the hatch opens up like that. And then I've got the hatch over here that opens up as well. Got these as separate bits at the moment. A bit hard to do with one hand. Oh, right. Sort of get the idea. So you can sort of see the photo etching as well. So this is photo etch brass across here. There's another very Australian component. They always had a very fine mesh across the engine grills. And you just see there's a bit of photo etch on here as well. So there's a lot more photo etch included as well. There's straps and such. And so from here, I'll start working on the the suspension. So it's interesting that the suspension is actually on torsion bars, so it's got to work. So it's cool in a way, but it means that it's going to be harder to make it all level. So that's why I've left them all off. So they're going to take a bit more time to get those perfectly straight. And then I guess next time around, you'll be able to see this in probably in primer, I think, getting ready to get most of its paint done. But that's where it's at the moment. General fit is pretty good. But yeah, there are a few little bits and pieces that you'll have to look out for. And I think I'll probably have this in a post-build review, and I'll talk about all the things to look out for and how to build it without any issues. But that's come together really well. So it's looking good so far. Yeah, that's the other thing that, since we're talking about Australian kits, I thought we'll have a closer look at this kit. So this isn't brand new, but it's really new to have all three of these in the one packet. Okay, so these are the Anzac patrol vehicles that were used in Palestine in World War One. So this is they were used by the first light car patrol. So that was developed, I guess it was formed just before World War One, and it actually started off in Melbourne. So in Melbourne, in South Melbourne, there's a company that put together 3 armoured cars to begin with, and they were made up of Daimlers and Mercedes. When they went overseas, they actually wore out. They didn't have enough bits to repair them, so they got these Ford Model Ts. So they got 6 of them, and as you can see here, before there were 3 slightly different configurations, and you get all 3 in this box, so you can build all 3 together. So ICM is a model company from the Ukraine. They're all very clean. You'll notice that a lot of the Ukrainian brands have really nice quality to the components, and they really concentrate on a lot of fine detail, which means there's quite a few parts. So this packet here contains all the parts for one car alone. There's generally about 100 parts per car. As you see here, you might be able to see the spokes. So they've got the tyres already molded onto the wheel, and the spokes are really fine. Sometimes with these sort of things, you expect them to be photo etched to get them so fine, but they're really crisp, as you can see. Okay, so that's one of those there. That one looks like a short wheelbase. And then here's another one. So you'd imagine these being exactly the same, but this is a different sprue. A long wheelbase at the back here. Got a slightly different chassis. Then on this side, you'll see that this part of the sprue is fairly similar, but slightly different. So the wheels are all the same. And then you get to this last one. I'll get it out of the packet. So again, this is a sort of short wheelbase, but it's got additional clear parts for doing the hood. That's really cool. And then got the manuals. So they actually include 3 different manuals. So 3 in 1. You'll see those all there. So very nice kit indeed. I mean, there's not a lot of Australian focused kits around.
Especially not World War One, hey?
But the ones that are around, they're really quite nice. So, I mean, Trumper to do the ASLabs, a bit more modern in taste. And I guess there's a few the M1 Abrams tanks, which I mean are pretty similar to the American ones with slight differences. What else is there? It's not a lot really. So, but what we do have to choose from, I mean, they're really, really good kits. So nice. I mean, ICM. So ICM, Masterbox, Mini Art, they're all Ukrainian. Missed any of there? So yeah, they're good. I mean, even all their other subjects are really nice too. So yeah. So where do we go here? I've got a few other things if anyone wants to have a look.
What have you got, Paige?
What have I got? What do you want to see?
Oh, what's in your box?
I was going to show off this, right?
What is it? There's Santa.
Hey,
We got Santa.
Is it
Who's got
Santa?
Santa?
Is that the Joe Biden Santa?
It's not time for Santa. Come on.
It's too awake to be Joe Biden.
Crikey. Woo!
So
Christmas in
Brett. What? No.
This week we received the delivery from last year. So last year we didn't effectively receive it and finally made it now. So we had to receive all the Christmas gadgets for your, I guess, model kit or diorama that you want to make. I don't even know what scale is this actually. That's quite large.
It looks
That's
scale.
132nd scale.
32nd.
A 132nd.
Yeah, that's one of many that we're going to receive in the next few weeks. Christmas stock. So
yep, yeah, it's cool.
Here we go.
Back to me. I was just going to show off something. No, it's all good. Let me see if I can get this to focus here. So what I've done, let's see, just cover my face and it should focus. Maybe is that working?
Yeah.
You can see that tiny little thing. So what I've done there is I've made a water drop. So I've basically done that with a length of invisible thread. So it's just like a clear plastic thread you get from a haberdashery store. And then there's a drop of UV clear resin on the bottom. And the amazing thing about this stuff is I would normally use like a crystal clear or some type of clear PVA. But this stuff is water clear. And it's really easy to use. So if you haven't seen it before, it's just this stuff. Okay, this is made by Green Stuff World. Oh, come on my face again. There you go. So that's UV resin. It's clear. You can get it in a few different sizes. This is a smaller one. And there's quite a lot in there. If you're only doing drips, it's going to last you for ages. So basically, let's see, I made this little contraption here. You're not going to be able to see much of that, are you? So I've already got 3 lengths of thread on it. Now we'll just apply this. So what UV resin does is it basically remains liquid until you cure it with UV light. So let's see if I can get the drops out. We'll do that one. We'll do 3. So what it means is while it's still wet, you can manipulate it, like move it around any way you like. Making you see that? No, that's not going to help. Sort of see them now?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so I've got my UV torch here.
Zap it.
That's it. So once I do this, I think that's enough. All right, and so yep, they're solid now. So it's fully cured now.
That's magic.
Okay, so if you want those really, I mean, this is the sort of thing I wanted to do on my diorama in the rain. I think I still would do something like this in a wet diorama, but I can make those drips even bigger just by adding more to it. And you can even use those for, say, blood drips, just by colouring them with either the Green Stuff blood colours or even just clear red. So it's really easy.
How would you recommend attaching those, Beach? I was thinking of doing that on the Galgoog, but I was just going to just drill like little holes where the drips would start from and attempt to stick a bit of that filament up there.
Yeah, well, there's nothing special about this. This is just super glued onto the side of this bit of plastic. Okay. And because this clear, this invisible thread is nylon or some sort of plastic material, they're really flexible. I mean, you see that? And I'm just flicking it and they're not coming off. They're just flexing.
Well, that's ideal, isn't it? Because, transporting it to a show or something.
Well, that's right. So you can see how long this one is. I mean, if this was stretched sprue like I did on my other one, I mean, that would have already come off. Yeah. So, yeah, just a small amount of super glue. That's it. And they're on. They're not coming off unless I pull it really hard. So it's really simple technique. So that's just a UV. And so, I mean, Warwick, you've used this for filling stuff too, haven't you? Or gluing stuff together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it was one of my products of the year at the end of last year. Remember how we did that? Hey,
that's right.
Nick accosted us in the stores and in the store and asked us what our favorite products were. And yeah, that stuff was one of mine. I mean, it's not miraculous. I mean, it was advertised really badly. Those ads that they have at like 2 a.m. in the morning on TV. Yeah. It's like there was that stuff was sold then, and it's just a slightly more viscous version that you would use in a 3D printer. That does seem to cure faster. Like I haven't tried to cure sort of regular UV curing resin from a printer with a torch before. But I don't think it'd shore up as quickly. Like that stuff, 10 seconds, and you saw how quickly BJ did it then, right? A big chunk of it is literally 10 seconds work. And yeah, I have on occasion used it as a filler. I just put a dot on where I need it, and it's got really nice self-leveling characteristics. So you can just get like a skewer or something and just and spread it out, and it'll just let it, find its level with the torch, and then you can, in 10 seconds time, you can start sanding it. And it has similar properties to plastic. Sometimes if you use a filler that's not a plastic, you'll sand at 2 different rates. So the softer item will sand faster than the harder item, and then you'll find yourself having to refill. But that resin's quite miraculous, especially if you're time poor and want to get some filling done in a hurry. Yeah, it's really cool. It's just permanently on my bench now. It's kind of like that, super glue and extra quick, extra thin cement is just, they're just like staples.
Well, that's sort of the stuff that you don't really consider, is it?
Yeah. Well,
they come in handy.
Yeah, it wasn't really, well, the UV resin wasn't, it was sort of advertised as a water effect, which of course you can do. Like it's actually a great water effect, because obviously you pour it in and it finds its level, and then you zap it and it's like, ta-da, water. Yeah.
Instant puddles.
Instant puddles. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you can, it'll take almost any paint. Like I've coloured it with lacquer paint. I've coloured it with Vallejo acrylic, and it seems to work fine. I think if you made it fully opaque, it might have trouble curing, because the light,
maybe because you need the UV to go through it.
It might not cure, but on smaller pieces, it doesn't. Yeah, it hasn't seemed to have been a problem. It's been pretty good.
If you think when we cure our 3D printed parts, the UV actually goes through the plastic quite deep, because we're curing parts that are 5, 6, 7 millimeter thick, and they get fully cured.
True. Yeah.
So somewhat goes
although
deep
we did
enough.
have some things that weren't quite, that broke, that we didn't think were quite as cured as they could be.
Yeah, this one.
Big diameter stuff though.
So this one, if you've seen a core there, let me see if it's focusing. Maybe the middle there, it seems like maybe not quite cured, but I guess it's a small dot in the middle. Really hard to tell. But otherwise, everything else is quite cured.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only other thing I had to sort of show off was these magnets. So these are the green stuff magnets. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of them all together there. So these are the sort of bigger size ones. These are the 5mm ones. So I'm not sure you can see, but these are, let me see if I can do this. Put it there. These are rare earth magnets, so they're really strong. So you see that, how it just sucked it up. So these are handy for particularly gamers like this, because you can put a magnet on each side of, say, an arm or a head or a weapon, and then you can easily interchange things. And they're so powerful.
What sorcery is that?
Right?
What sorcery is that?
Yeah. I mean, I was born with this card.
Wow.
I just lost one of these. Hang on.
I'll just use another one to find it.
No, that's right. All right. So these are the really, really thin ones. So these ones here, these are actually 3mm by 0.5 mm. So if you need to hide it anyway, all you need to do is just scrape out a particular area about that size. Let's see if you can see this. Oh, lost it. Just trying to see what I'm doing here. Well, it is so small. I keep losing it. Okay, but you sort of get the gist. So you got all these different sizes. So there's the thinnest and the smallest ones you can get, 3mm by 0.5. These are the fatter ones. So you can see the difference in sizes there. So for any use,
I think a lot of the scale crawler guys are using them like in the doors and stuff to like.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And hinges and bonnets and stuff.
Yeah, So obviously, the bigger the magnet, the more magnetic power it's going to have. So smaller ones are great if you need to hide them. But they're good for low power applications. And then if you need something with heaps of power, you use the bigger ones there. So yeah.
And I saw some guys using those powerful magnets to hold their bodies onto their RC cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yep.
The big ones will do that.
Actually using the magnet.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's right. And to install, you can probably use the spin blades from Godhands. I remember still the video that we did with you, Beach, a few months ago. These spin blades, 3mm wide, they will be perfect. Actually, we prepared like a really nice flat round. Set them in.
Yeah.
In very neat.
Because drill bits would have that sort of chamfered edge, so it's never going to be totally flat. But the spin blades are totally flat, so you'll be able to get a perfect cylinder engraved into your surface, and then they'll just drop in. You just hold them in with a bit of super glue,
and it'll be really easy. Very good. Okay, what else do we have? I guess the Olympics are going to start tonight, really. So it's about time.
The opening ceremony.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's starting about now.
So it's about now. So let's see if anyone has any question, really. I don't think I've got too much today. I've got a couple of small things here for the train guys. Let me grab them. We have received a couple of really funny things. Let me pop the other camera. There we go. So
I thought that was your cat, BJ. I was worried.
The cat? No, that's me trying to find a magnet.
BJ thought it was his cat too. He's like, no, too soon.
Sorry, Nick.
Use a magnet and try and find a magnet.
So we received those little kits from Spin Master, which is an American company, and there's more kits in HL scale, which is typical for railway, and they have the barbecue and kind of food trucks, which is quite unusual to see. I don't think I've seen this before. These kits are made by Vollmer, which is a German company, but they are remarketed by Spin Master, which is a Walter company. So very good quality little kits, kind of a bit different. And along this one is the fishing boat, which again is very unusual. I don't think I've seen it before. And this is made by Kibri, again as part of the Spin Master range from Walters. Very, very little kit and kind of cute to add to your railway layout. So something that has arrived today.
You can use that with resin.
That absolutely. So let's see if anyone has any more questions. Tom, do you have anything else there?
Only other thing I've got is we've had a restock of the Evangelion kits from Bandai. So this one,
Tommy, you love them. You love those. You've got them all.
I've got them.
You must have them all by now, right?
I have got them all. This particular one, they were supposed to be limited, but they have done a reissue with the extra rifle that you can see on the box there.
Yeah.
I've only just started this one, so it's not really worth showing off at this point. There's only about 3 pieces clipped together. But these are real great kits. So there's several hundred parts to them. Really detailed, really articulate, and we'll have more of that build on camera later. But they are in stock at the moment. We have Unit 0 and Unit 1 with the base that it comes with as well. So,
thank you.
That's
good.
Cool.
Very good.
My segue there, Nick, to our latest, well, one of our latest Hearns Workshop products, the HO water crane. Did you guys cover that last week or?
We did show a bit of it.
Yeah.
We actually did. Let me see. Let me jump on a. This is a good point. Let me jump on a big camera here. Okay. Here we go. So
they're ready.
Warwick,
They're ready to go. Which is great.
They are ready to go. They'll be live for sale, I think, in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So these are Australian water crane for HL scale model railway layout. This is a set that we done of 2. I guess we ultimately decided to sell them in a single unit. They'll be about $10 from memory or $12 or so. and there'll be instructions and everything to build them up. But they are in how many? 4 or 5 parts, and do look extremely realistic. So we managed to design them and produce them in a way that we will have less support. So, but as you can see, the detail is very crisp. We got the side steps here. I guess the side steps, isn't it? On the side of the
that's right.
Yeah. And even here you got all the details, like the real one in 1:1 scale, and so just need a little bit of cleaning up from the support and a bit of painting, and I can add like a great level of detail to your layout. So, and what else did we produce? We've got a kind of a few other things becoming ready this week. There's some knobs in 32nd scale, 48, and 24. Is that correct, Warwick?
At this stage, just there's not very many 24th scale USAF kits. Most of them are 148 or 32. So we've got full dial sets for. I keep wanting to say F series planes, which they're not, but I don't know what else to call them. So it's the F 14, 15, 16, and 18. So we've got detail up kits for the cockpits for those in 48 and 32, which is pretty cool. They're totally accurate. They're either from drawings or from the actual knobs themselves. So, and interesting trivia fact, which I didn't know until I started this project, which is one of the fun things about modeling these things up, is that there are generic knobs and dials in cockpits, but most of the important dials, they're all a different shape. And that's because that's so that the pilots can train themselves to know what they're adjusting by feel, whether it's got like 3 lobes or 2 lobes or 5, or it's rounded or it's square. So I thought that was really interesting. Didn't make my life any easier, of course, because I think I ended up having to model 30 plus different knobs of varying sizes. Yeah, no two were the same. So that was fun. But as a bonus, you get to have some super accurate, super detailing parts for your next USAF project. And we've got quite a few kits, quite a few big scale kits in store at the moment, which would just look absolutely amazing with the added detail that these resin prints would add. So that's pretty exciting.
That's right.
Yeah, because we're not, the retail side of our business has gone to sleep for a while. Means that I've had myself and Marlon and everyone else at Hearns Workshop have had a chance to go hard and do some longer term projects, and also do get more files ready for people to purchase in the next couple of weeks. So we're looking at new files daily kind of thing. So and also if there's something that you want, let us know. Leave a comment or send us a message. We don't do on-demand printing, but if you've got something that we think, an idea, say for example, that we think that we can commercialize, then we'll turn it into a product that we can sell to other customers. But it also means that you get what you want as well. So because that way we can verify it. Because we're creating the files, we can verify them and make sure that they can be printed and optimized and what have you. So if there's something you'd like to see, absolutely leave us a message. We've done custom pop rivets for a customer. We've done hydraulic fittings. Customer wanted just the small size hydraulic fittings, and a small amount of them. So we're really happy to do those and to add that to that product range as well. So let us know if you've got some ideas, and we'll make it happen.
I'm just looking for the letterboxes. So Marlon this week designed the HO scale little super tiny letterbox, which are so small they have actually disappeared from a bench. I had a couple of here, but unfortunately they can't be found anymore. But I think I can bring this up. So Let's see this one. Okay, so these are the full Australian Post letter boxes, and he designed the residential version of those as well. So we should have them live in the next probably week or so as well. So quite a few things becoming ready. Yeah.
I think people should also be really respectful of Marlon having to sneak out of the house at midnight under the cloak of darkness with a tape measure, roaming the streets looking for mailboxes, trying to figure out the dimensions of them.
That's what train guys do, mate.
Yeah, I know. You've got to suffer for your art. I understand.
Yeah.
It was a top effort by Marlon getting that stuff done.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of stuff doesn't have a lot of stuff. You can't just. Some stuff's online and there's technical drawings, but a lot of stuff there just isn't, and you've got to kind of reverse engineer it in any way that you can. And if that means putting an overcoat on and balaclava and sneaking out to measure mailboxes, then that's what you've got to do.
Definitely. All right, so we've got one more request. Ian is asking Brett to upload some pictures of the build of the front-wheel drive kit, which I'm pretty sure that will happen.
Yep.
Definitely. We'll definitely give us some content for the Hearns racing page, the Hearns Hobbies racing page. So definitely keep a lookout for there. And when it hits the track and definitely upcoming races.
Absolutely. And I put up there just before a comment from Shane suggesting that we could design a Flinders Street station to put together with the liter tram and obviously the post boxes and adding our shop as well. So
yeah, that look good.
We actually had some conversation about creating a kind of a model of a station. Really, maybe it's a future project. Warwick is thinking, how is he going to measure the station?
Yeah. I don't even have a
balaclava. Step it out, Warwick.
I don't have a balaclava or a tape measure big enough. I don't know. I'll think about it.
I'll get Kevin to do it.
Kevin, yeah. Kevin's up for anything.
Kevin, yeah, he can do it at night when no one is around.
Yeah, he won't even know if it's night, so that's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Indeed. Brilliant. Very good. So
what's on for everyone's weekend?
Question: what's the plan for the weekend?
What's happening for the weekend, fellas?
Well, I think I need to finish this. Actually, I didn't get to show this today, but let's do it now. There we go. So the
Vanquish the Vanquish.
So it's got a bit of color. I have painted the radio tray here. You can see, and the servo. So there's a bit more work to do, but I guess this weekend we'll finish up. We'll install the electronics, and then the car will be ready. We just need to do the body shell. So the body shell will be the next big challenge, and I will need the assistance of everyone else because I don't think I'm the right person to paint the litter driver. But we'll have a conversation about that, I guess, at some point in the next week or so.
Specialty.
Tom's really good at it.
That will be Warwick's specialty.
Up there.
But this will be a limited edition that we do for this VQS, and we'll go for sale eventually in the coming weeks as an exclusive edition. So here we go.
Will that take brushless? Is that of that era or no?
This is going to have a brushless system, actually. Yeah. So we already installed.
In. Yeah, it
was 21.5 brushless Arrowmax dash motor in there. So it's a 21.5 turn, and realistically, 21.5 is going to be very quick.
It's going to be nice.
So yes.
I like that it looks like it looks like a actual rally car that's kind of been shrunk down, with the sort of rear trailing arms and stuff.
Yeah, it's got those semi-trailing arms at the back.
Extra realism or something.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right. Yeah. So we have a question actually. Jason is asking if how the phone boxes are going. The phone boxes should be actually live on the website
That's 2 store boxes.
Actually, let me see if I can quickly find the link. Yes. I'm pretty sure they were live last week. So let's see.
Yeah, we prototyped, didn't we? And Marlon did a really nice job with the supports on that one.
That's right. Let me see if I can bring them up.
Good to go.
Yes, they're ready to go. Let me pop the link in the comments. So they're sold as a set of 2. Here we go. This should come up now. Here we go. Sold as a set of 2, and yes. Let me see if I've got some pieces here. Probably don't. No, I've got letter boxes, not phone boxes, but yeah, they're definitely ready to go. So jump on the link, and you should be able to grab a couple if you wish. Very good. Anyone else? Any other questions? Let's give another minute or so. Is there any other questions?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
any questions at all
for the weekend? What else do we have? I have I think I left some slot cars. We've been playing slot cars with my girls in the last few weekends. So these slot cars are going to make another show this weekend. So
unfortunately, during lockdown, I'll be forced to put not forced, but I'll put my lipos into storage. So it pays when you're not using them to put them into storage every now and then to get them at the correct voltage. So most of your modern chargers will have the capabilities, but yeah, it pays to once a month or every couple of weeks put them in storage in your lipo safe bag and keep them in tip-top condition and safe.
Definitely.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right. So shall we close it?
Yeah, why not?
Stick a fork in it.
That's it. So, I guess we'll be back live next Friday. Hopefully in the shop, but possibly from home again. We will keep you up to date throughout the week. Keep an eye on our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. We have a video going out every day. So feel free to comment. I guess any comments will be really helpful, so we can tell up some more content that you may like, answer any questions. While we're in lockdown, you may be working on some projects, so just send us some photos of what you're doing. If you have questions, just pop them on Facebook, and we can answer them. And I guess we can probably do a couple of demonstrations if easy enough during next week live. So perfect opportunity to, I guess, start a new hobby or pick up something you haven't finished for many months.
Yeah, we're going on YouTube too. We've got quite a few videos coming out. So tonight, I think the second part of the 1/48 scale Phantom build is up. So if you want to see how that's progressing, that's a good watch. It's a long watch, but you'll be able to see just how good that particular kit is. And then every day there's something different.
Definitely. So excellent. All right, then. What have you got, Brad, there? Are you still playing with your wheel?
Yeah, it's a fidget toy. I can't help it.
I've been playing with these all night.
Have you?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Wow. Try that out.
How can you not? Look at that thing. It's like
it's a masterpiece.
and I think I'm doing the screw for about an hour or so, and I still haven't managed to strip the thread, just to say how strong this material is. and I think I've got this almost. So yeah, it's a winner.
Friday night R&D is the best.
Absolutely.
That's right. I've been fiddling with this. So
what is that? Looks like a pair of kidneys.
Kidney shield. So I haven't really done any scribing before, which is where you just you take an older kit or a kit that doesn't have much detail, and you basically have these things called push broaches, which are kind of like little reverse chisels. Like instead of pushing them forward, you actually scrape them backwards, and you can create sort of panel lines and details, and just add a bit of visual interest to the kits. And so I'm building the master grade Marasai at the moment, and it doesn't have a whole lot of details. Again, it's an older kit like the Camphor. So I went and got some broaches, and they kind of, these panels start off very, very
Really
boring.
smooth.
Yeah, nothing to it. And then
That looks boring.
it is boring. We don't do boring here at Hearns Hobbies. We do
How would you
exciting.
explain that? Balls.
Oh, that is way more.
Well, that's like it's like got tattoos.
Yep. So yeah, bit of styrene, bit of scribing. There's a bit of an art form to, because obviously it's all made up. So when you add details, it's very much an artistic thing. It's not really. It's got to have some base. It's got to look. It's got to feel real, but it doesn't have to be real. So what I'm doing is I'm doing that on. I'm using this part as a template. So some of the shapes and the way that the lines reference each other will be carried on throughout the whole kit to bring it together, to make it seem uniform rather than, just doing hodgepodge, pretty patterns everywhere. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. I'll just be like removing small bits of plastic from bigger bits of plastic. Sounds exciting, huh? But no, it's actually fun. And it's a lot more fun when you've got scribers or push broaches that are actually sharp. I highly recommend it if you're going to even try this sort of stuff. It's not easy, but just get the good stuff. Don't even bother with the cheaper tools, because even though you think, plastic, anything can do that. Yeah, it can't. The good stuff is just that much sharper, and will just make your life that much easier.
It will last longer too.
Yeah, totally, yeah. So you should give it a crack, and and if I don't know, I feel like we should get some at the shop. I mean, it's not a good time to be trying to get anything at the moment, really, or it hasn't been for the past year or so. But we've got the Tamiya ones, which are super nice. So obviously I recommend those because they're Tamiya. What does Tamiya do that sucks? So
we've got the other scribers coming shortly, hopefully next week, in different sizes. From
is it the border stuff? No.
From can't remember now. So they've got the 0.15 mil, 0.3, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. So they're like chisels, I guess, but sort of hooked. They're like the new ones.
Border models? I thought it was border.
Border. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the border ones are coming.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to trying them out. They look very similar to the ones that I've got. So I think they'll be good. Look out for them.
Meanwhile, I found the letterbox.
Get out.
Where did you find that?
Let me see if he's going to focus.
Oh my God!
It's a bit close, I think.
No wonder you lost it.
Here we go. Sorry, came up.
Give me a second.
There you go.
There it is.
It wants to so badly.
Whoop.
Yes.
Hold still.
I'm feeling a bit seasick.
Yeah, don't.
See it for a split second.
This may not happen.
I can't read palms.
But I guess the detail is phenomenal. It's super small.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the money.
Here we go. So these are HL scale letterboxes. So we got 5 different types for residential. So what you're gonna have to do really actually is to drill a small hole to, lost it. To put a post underneath. Guess we'll have to do a proper tutorial on this. So let me. I don't think we're gonna make this happen today, but you're just gonna have to put a small post, and that'll be. I guess.
I wish my bills were that small.
Wish your what were that small?
Bills.
Oh.
That's the only thing that comes in the mailbox.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. All right then.
Okay.
I think it's time to go.
I'm
Thank you
for having me.
Thank you for watching us, and hopefully we see everyone next Friday. Hopefully at 2 p.m. in store. Otherwise, it'll be 8 p.m. again from home. So
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Coming here.
And see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Yeah.